Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into complex topics and pull out the essentials for you. And today, we've got some stats that honestly might surprise you, especially if you spend time outdoors hunting. Dr. Alan Lazara, he's a physician in Michigan, avid hunter too. He points out that, get this, a hunter is 2 to 3 times more likely to be injured by a fall from a tree stand than from a firearm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
It does, and Whitetails Unlimited adds to that, saying about 1 in 3 hunters, 1 in 3, will actually fall from a stand at some point.
That's a huge number.
It really is. So this deep dive, it's all about tree stand safety. We've gone through a bunch of sources trying to find the core advice. We've boiled it down to 5 critical ways you can seriously cut down that risk when you're up in a stand.
Right. So the mission for you listening right now is to grab these key bits of actionable knowledge, stuff that can actually turn those sobering stats around, make every hunt safer.
Exactly. These aren't like super complicated rules. They're pretty simple, but they are life-saving. We're going to unpack each one, really get into the why behind them, not just the what.
Makes sense.
So where do we kick things off? Let's start with the absolute foundation, maybe the most critical piece of gear, the full-body harness. Now, this might seem obvious to some, but why is this specific type of harness so much better than, the older ways people did it?
Well, it really comes down to this. A good fitting full body harness is basically your number one defense. See, for years, people used what they called body belts, just a strap around the waist, essentially. But those things were frankly dangerous. They were linked to a lot of fatalities, and not just from hitting the ground, but from like asphyxiation if you hung there wrong, or spinal injuries, even secondary falls trying to recover.
Oh, wow. Asphyxiation. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah. It got so bad that OSHA actually banned them completely for construction work. They created different kinds of disasters. A full body harness, though, it spreads that force out, across your thighs, your shoulders, your chest. The stronger parts, it manages the energy way better.
Okay, that explanation really highlights the difference. It's not just holding you, it's how it holds you if you fall. So if someone's out there thinking, okay, I need a new harness or maybe upgrading, what should they be looking for? What's key?
The big one is weight capacity. Definitely check that first. Most harnesses you see are rated for, say, at least 300 pounds. But here's the crucial bit, and people miss this sometimes. That's not just your weight. You got to factor in your clothes, especially cold weather gear, heavy boots, your rifle or bow, backpack, all the extra stuff you might have on you when you're actually climbing.
Right, the total weight loaded onto the harness.
Exactly. It adds up faster than you think, which actually kind of leads into another point we'll get to later. Using a haul line can help reduce that climbing weight.
Good point. We'll circle back to that. So calculating that total weight is super important. Okay, you've got the harness on. What's next? What physically connects you? That brings us to the safety line, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like there are a few different things people call safety lines, and maybe they do different jobs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The terms get mixed up a lot. You basically have your main safety lines and then linemen's belts. They serve different purposes. Your main safety line, think of that as your lifeline while you're going up or coming down. It's usually a rope you attach high up in the tree near your stand, and it hangs all the way to the ground. Then you have a little device, either a special knot called a prusik knot or a mechanical ascender attached to that main rope. You clip your harness tethered to that device. As you climb, you slide the knot or the ascender up the rope with you.
Yeah.
So if you slip, bang, it grabs the rope and you only fall maybe a foot or two. Stops you right there.
Gotcha. And the difference between the prusik knot and the ascender?
Well, the prusik knot usually comes standard. It works great, totally safe, but you often need 2 hands to slide it smoothly up the rope. Ascenders, they kind of come from the rock climbing world. They do the same job, but they use like a little tooth cam inside. Grips the rope automatically. The big advantage is you can usually slide it up with just 1 hand, which is way more convenient when you're climbing.
Easier to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually cost a bit extra. It's an optional upgrade, but all hunters find it worth it. Then you've got the lineman's belt. This is different. Its main job is while you're climbing, specifically with climbing sticks or screw-in steps, not really for ladders attached to the stand. You clip it into your harness, wrap it around the tree, and clip it back to the other side of your harness.
So it frees up your hands while you're moving pegs or sticks.
Exactly. Keeps you close to the tree, gives you stability, it helps free up your hands. Now here's the key distinction. While it keeps you close and might slow a fall, It doesn't typically prevent a fall completely like the main safety line does.
Okay, that's a critical difference.
Yeah, you can actually find videos online. Just to do a quick search, you'll see people slipping even using a lineman's belt. It's not foolproof fall arrest. There is a little trick, though. Some people use the X method. You clip the ends to the opposite sides of your harness, crisscrosses the belt behind the tree, supposedly gives a bit more friction if you do slip. Kind of hard to picture just talking about it, but worth looking up.
Right. Visualize that connection.
Yeah.
So understanding the gear is step one, but step two is how you use it, how you actually climb.
Yeah.
I remember my first time feeling kind of shaky. It's easy to see how a slip could happen. Which brings us neatly to point number 3, proper climbing technique. You mentioned a golden rule.
Absolutely. The golden rule, and this applies to any climbing really, is always, always maintain 3 points of contact. What that means is only one limb, one hand or one foot should be moving at any given time. So 2 hands and 1 foot are stable, or 2 feet and 1 hand are stable. Always 3 points holding on. Think about like slipping on an icy step. If you're only holding on with one hand when your foot slips, you're probably going down. But if you had both hands firmly on the rail, much better chance of catching yourself, right?
Makes total sense. More stability, less chance of a catastrophe if one point fails.
Exactly. And it helps prevent fatigue, too. Keeps you focused. Beyond that basic rule, you need to be consistently tied in somehow. Using that safety line system we talked about, or the lineman's belt while ascending with sticks. And here's a really critical moment. The transition.
Yeah.
When you get from your ladder or sticks into the stand itself, you absolutely must make sure you are securely clipped into your tree tethered, the short strap connecting your harness to the tree once you're in the stand before you unclip your lineman's belt or disconnect from your main safety line used for climbing.
Ah, that handover point.
Mm,
Never be untethered.
never. That tiny moment of being unsecured is statistically where a lot of falls happen. Get locked into the stand tether first.
Crucial sequence. Okay, point 4, the haul line. This seems almost too simple, but I can definitely see how it helps. Trying to climb with a rifle slung over your back is awkward. Why is using a haul line specifically safer than just carrying your gear?
It's safer mainly because it eliminates awkwardness and imbalance. Climbing is already physically demanding, right? Trying to do that while carrying a heavy rifle or a bulky backpack, it just throws your balance off. It can snag on branches, block your view.
Yeah, I've definitely had my pack catch on stuff.
Right. It just adds unnecessary risk factors. A haul line gets all that gear off your body during the climb, and it doesn't need to be complicated. Seriously, any decent paracord, like 550 cord, or any rope rated for, say, 200 pounds or more is fine. You just tie one end to your gear, maybe use a carabiner so it's easy to clip on your bow or rifle. Unloaded, of course.
Right, unloaded. Important detail.
Very important. Then you attach the other end maybe to your belt or harness temporarily while you climb, or just let it hang down if it reaches. Once you're safely up in the stand, secured with your tether, then you just pull your gear up.
Just hoist it up.
Yep, you can just muscle it up, or some people rig up a little pulley system if they have heavier stuff. It just makes that climb cleaner and safer. Takes variables out of the equation.
Removes distractions and potential snags.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, final point, number 5. This one feels like something people might skip over. Reviewing the safety instructions and actually inspecting your gear regularly. It sounds basic, like checking your car's oil, but is it really that critical?
Oh, absolutely critical. Maybe the most overlooked step. Here's the thing. We all get new gear, and the first instinct is rip open the box, toss the papers, and figure it out, right?
Guilty as charged sometimes, yeah.
We all do it. But this isn't a new gadget, it's life-saving equipment. Taking 10 minutes to actually read the manufacturer's instructions for your harness, your safety line, your stand, it matters. They tell you the specific weight limits, how to fit it properly, how to use it correctly. Ignoring that is just risky.
And the inspection part. How often, how thorough?
This is where maybe there's a surprising insight. Hunters often underestimate how things like sunlight, just UV exposure, or even dampness can degrade the synthetic materials in harnesses and ropes over time. A strap might look okay to the naked eye, but it could be weakened internally. That's why manufacturers have guidelines, sometimes even expiration dates. It's tied to that unseen breakdown.
So it's not just about obvious tears.
Not at all. So the answer to how often is simple. Inspect it before every single use, every time you head out. Just like you'd glance at your tires before a long drive. Check your harness straps for any fraying, cuts, weird fuzzy spots, sun fading. Check the stitching, check the buckles for cracks or distortion. Check your ropes for similar issues. Learn what danger signs look like. And the actionable advice here is really straightforward. If you have any doubt about a piece of gear, any doubt at all, replace it. Or at the very least, take it to someone qualified, a licensed specialist to inspect it properly. Don't gamble with it.
When in doubt, swap it out. Good rule.
Yep. Your hunt, your health, your life, it's worth way more than the cost of a new strap or rope.
This has been incredibly helpful, really breaking it down.
Yeah.
So if we bring it all together, the main takeaway is, yes, tree stand falls are a serious risk. We see the stats,
Right.
but they are largely preventable, aren't they?
Absolutely preventable. It boils down to a few key things. Get the right gear, especially that full body harness. Actually, read the instructions that come with it. Use the safety lines correctly. Maintain that 3-point contact when you climb. Use a haul line and inspect everything every single time.
Takes a little extra time, but sounds like time well spent.
Definitely. When you hear that 1 in 3 hunters will fall statistic,
Yeah.
that's a real person, a real injury, a real impact on their life and family. By doing these things diligently, you stack the odds massively in your favor. You avoid becoming that statistic. You make sure your hunting memories are good ones, for the right reasons.
Well said. So here's a final thought to leave you with, maybe something to chew on. We've talked a lot about how even a small slip from a stand can be catastrophic, and the need for deliberate checks. So think about this. What's an overlooked safety practice in your everyday life, something routine that could maybe benefit from that same kind of deliberate pre-use inspection and attention you'd give a tree stand harness? Something to consider.